sit across from each other. You see
All right,
us be.
let's get it. Let's see what At talking about tonight, man. We is live at fucking 5 on YouTube. Let's get it, motherfucker. All right.
On my podcast, sitting across from each other.
Yada, 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 nigga.
Couldn't be traced.
Let me get to the point.
You know, when you shoot a woman.
But I want to make that abundantly clear. And I'm always open and honest. I used to do business with Jay-Z, Rock Nation, Jay-Z, to promote their artists until me and Meek Mill got into it, and I threw it in his face, pause, that Rock Nation was paying me to promote him. And then he got mad. I've never done business with Rock Nation since. That's years ago. You know, me and Meek been beefing for like 10 years. So, you know, I'm always open and honest, right? They would just pay me to like, yo, hey, could you let people know this album's coming out? That's it, you know? Now, I'm always honest. The honesty never really is full transparent around this industry, but I'm always honest about what's going on with me. If you ask me, but this shouldn't be a day about opinions. It should be more about provable facts and having people making really educated opinions. And that's what we're going to use it for. But if you do ask me, I do believe that other individuals, and the majority of the individuals in media, I wouldn't say they're getting directly paid by Rock Nation.
Fast forward this nigga, he ain't really talking about shit. Because I think I heard a little bit of this. So I'm gonna fast forward.
While you tweet this out, there's many and the full pattern and the proof isn't. I'm not defending every.
Rational thought.
Okay, I'm not defending everything Nicki's ever said about everyone. I'm saying when it comes to the conversation she's had, where she's mentioning Desiree Perez, Jay-Z, and Rock Nation, I don't believe those are all.
I'm rolling up some weed right now.
Thoughts of a manic individual that.
Right now, I'm rolling up some weed. I'm gonna roll up.
Experiences.
Academics talking to Vlad about nothing.
The majority of what
Vlad put out that controversial ass tweet talking about Jay-Z this, Jay-Z that. Yeah, he working for Jay-Z. We know what the fuck going on.
Paid us $10,000 a month, right? Let me ask you a question. You're being facetious, clearly, but do you believe that there's no one in the media? I wouldn't say necessarily getting paid off by Rock Nation, but that has mutually monetary interest that would be in their benefit to defend.
I'm trying to roll this weed up.
I think, as you know, not even I think, I know for a fact, and you can agree with me on this, is that once you get into a certain industry, particularly something like music and entertainment, you have relationships, and which often form into friendships with various people. So when you have relationships with people, then you're going to give them a pass. You're not going to talk bad about them, whatever else. You don't hear me ever talking bad about Boosie, right? Me and Boosie have a business relationship and a personal relationship.
Vlad really try to get street cred with Boosie. Well, if I get one of the most street niggas out here, maybe in the streets will fuck with me. Man, nigga, give a fuck about Boosie. Boosie street cred all fucked up. You just see that nigga on the sideline dancing like a clown every fucking week in Atlanta. Boosie a joke, man. Nigga don't take Boosie as Boosie is a whole joke out here, man. Niggas don't even fuck with little Boosie like that. I ain't rap niggas don't fuck with Boosie. Boosie can't get a verse to save his life. Man, hey, skip all this weak shit, man. Let's get to the point. Let's get it. We live at 5.
Has been either behind, whether directly or indirectly, that pattern becomes, I don't think it's a coincidence anymore. But when it comes to, like, say, payment, right? For example, there's a list of individuals that when Jay-Z was going up to get the casino deal, and he was the front of the possible multi-billion-dollar deal, and they needed approval of the neighborhood council, he brought on a bunch of hip-hop folks to speak on behalf.
Yeah, he did.
Hip-hop folks, some of them are in media. None of them, has ever thought to, either take anything of him being in the media about whatever with any type of seriousness, I don't think that's friendship. I think that's a business opportunity, right? Like I don't think some of these people, I don't think they're friends with Jay-Z that much. It's just a, hey, listen, this is a guy who I'm gonna make money with. If y'all are trying to bring it down, you're bringing me down. Not gonna let it happen. And so that's what I was trying to say. So when you send out that tweet, and
I don't think that's much of a point. Of course, people want to work with someone that they have potential business future with. Like this is just normal business, like and plus you're talking about something completely different. You're talking about someone stepping forward as a character witness or someone that's dealt.
I think VLAD backtracking. Why you put that statement out?
With someone before, as opposed to saying that this guy paid a Mexican pedophile to stab Tory, right? So you're gonna tell me that Jay is gonna put his whole...
Vlad think he's slick. He think he got all the sense. He trying to... You want to put that weak ass statement out, all right? Really, it's true, and he know it's true, but he can't legally say that shit. So you want to have everybody kind of like, oh, it ain't true. Yeah, well, nigga, it is true. But you want to put some bullshit in with the fake shit so you kind of can wiggle your way out of it. Nigga try to Western you. A real city slicker, you know what I'm saying?
That future
city boy.
City boy! City boy!
Than Bill Cosby, right? Because if it was proven that you were paid to have a man stabbed up, that's worse than what Bill Cosby did, right? And
what Vlad doing? He throwing out a whole bunch of allegations.
Every Jay-Z, everything will go down. The NFL deal gone. Album pulled off the shelves. Streaming services done. Invited nowhere. NFL deal, forget about it. So you can stab a dude who's already in prison?
Okay, Vlad, I'm going to respond to you, and I'm going to say something that it's going to sound crazy, but I'm going to give an explanation. It'll completely make sense.
Here we go.
But this is why when you post what you posted, it's like the feds releasing the Epstein files. I know that sounds crazy.
No, remotely similar, but go ahead.
Here's the explanation. To drown out some of the actual, maybe really credible and things that we could actually be like, oh, that was really going on. Like, for example, in the Epstein files, there's an individual named Les Wexner, former CEO of Abercrombie & Fitch and also of Victoria's Secret. He was literally funding this guy, knowing all of this happened. Leon Black. There's real things in there, but with the release of it, they would put some crazy shit in there to say George Bush was eating the intestines of children after they sacrificed them and eating the fecal matter out of them. You know why? That people can say, this is all bullshit. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes, like, again, I agree with you on that point you made about, what was the point? The last point. I don't think everything is credible. But what I'm saying is that when you blanketly act like because some of the things aren't credible means that nobody should believe anything, that becomes a problem, right? Because
what in my tweet? What? Like, name something in my tweet that's credible. Like any of it. Like, name one credible thing in terms of what I said.
Okay. Perfect. All right. So this is what I would offer up. Okay. So you have a confession. Rock Nation been paying me to support me. I think when, again, it's not credible as pertaining to you, but do I believe that Rock Nation, through his surrogates, has been financially incentivizing people to either support Megan? Absolutely.
Duh. Everybody know that.
Absolutely.
Rock Nation got hitters. We all know.
Right? Now, again, it might not be credible to you, but when you say it as the person who, that's why I said it's the Epstein files, pause. Like, when you say, people think that, well, if this isn't true, it's not true for everybody else, right? Because you're going to come out and say, of course they never paid me. Then people are thinking, well, they never paid anyone.
I ain't gonna lie, that's exactly what I was thinking. As soon as Vlad said, oh, nah, I was thinking, the whole time I'm thinking, of course this nigga gonna say that. Duh. He ain't trying to get sued by Rock Nation, so why would he even say some lame ass shit like that?
Or they don't have any business incentives with people for them to support Meg on behalf of Rock Nation. Also, keep in mind,
I ain't gonna lie, I think it was academics be putting pressure on these niggas every time they say some controversial shit like this, so Act be doing a good job, but Vlad, why you even say some weak ass shit like this if you ain't gonna be man enough to stand on that shit? Then when somebody call you and ask you about it, you, oh man, I'm playing around. Y'all believe everything a nigga say. Why I would say some weak ass shit?
That's a pattern recognition. If Rock Nation has zero, and this is why I said we could discuss all these at once. If Rock Nation has zero care about the media, right? The media supposedly, painting, supporting Meg or painting her in a favorable light. Why did they essentially give their legal team to Meg Thee Stallion, fund millions of dollars to go after a blogger just to get $59,000? Right?
Huh? Did Rock Nation actually fund that, or did Megan just fund that herself to prove a point? And when you talk about these media connections and so forth,
Vlad,
like I've really been kind of fair on both times, because the girl that Megan sued, I had a conversation with her and I told her that it's just financial bullying, because at the end of the day, some random blogger that doesn't have a massive following like this girl putting out a couple things about Tory does not change anything.
Vlad.
Doesn't change anything. And funding someone like me doesn't change anything.
And
there's too many media outlets out there. It's not like it was in the 1980s, where if you got CNN to get behind you, suddenly you change the whole narrative. No.
See, this is what we call, if you from Florida, this is what we call twirling. He trying to twirl a nigga. You know what I'm saying? If you from Florida, anytime a nigga start talking like this, they trying to twirl you. We ain't falling for that. Trying to put a nigga in a trick bag. Yeah, we ain't finna put a nigga in no trick bag, Vlad.
They get you, me, everyone we know to say something on their behalf. There's still a much bigger media monster out there and so forth that's gonna drown it all out.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because they claimed that Joe Budden, me, and Milagro was enough to sway people in Tory's favor. So why wouldn't you think?
Of course they're going to say that in court, because they're trying to win money in the case.
They spent millions of dollars. But hold on. Let me just
I don't agree with this.
Okay.
I totally don't agree. Okay. I think that this girl and Joe Budden saying something makes no difference in the grand scheme of things. Okay. That's not either of them.
And let me connect the dots.
Let me connect the dots.
When we do have our in-person conversation, I want you to ask me for proof, because I'm not here to just say shit that is in belief, right? So, when I spoke about, and I did a 7-hour deposition with it's the same law firm that's representing her, that is Alex Spiro, who's Jay-Z's personal attorney.
He did that. His stood on business with no lawyer.
Firm, okay?
Act one up against the best of them.
Manual. I sat through an 8-hour deposition.
That ain't no easy job.
In hour 5, one of the 7 attorneys on the call, they actually slipped up, and while trying to show me an exhibit, they showed their chat. And their chat to each other was, hey, academics just said this. Could you let Desiree Perez, not Meg Thee Stallion, Desiree Perez, the CEO of Rock Nation. So I know you're saying, oh, Rock Nation has nothing to do with it. Why would that be a thing? Why would, in a deposition with me for Meg versus this woman, they need to alert Rock Nation if they're not behind it?
You know who behind this shit? Jay-Z behind this shit, man. The Boogie Band. I'm convinced now Jay-Z fucking Meg Thee Stallion. He wouldn't be doing all this shit. The label wouldn't be doing all this legwork. He gotta be fucking Meg.
And I have proof of this. This is not something
everybody else fucking knows.
I made up. I have literal proof.
Okay, so you have, if this was actually true, that's a huge leap. And all over TikTok, all over Instagram, all over other social media platforms, it probably has 100 million impressions. Would you say that's right?
It does, but I do want to. So again, and I'm trying to focus the conversation here on really the biggest, again, you're my man, so it's we'll never really have a real problem with each other when it comes to like this, but just on a debate level. But my problem with this is actually everybody at this point, and I did a lead up when I was introing this topic to explain your platform, what you've done, how you have, essentially at this point, you are one of the biggest hip hop platforms and one of the biggest independent media platforms that once ostracized and people, try to disrespect. At this point,
fuck Vlad, he ain't all that. Black police.
Appeal didn't go through. He's gonna have to, sit out the whole rest of the time. And I don't think Jay had anything to do with his situation. I think Tory being drunk, Tory having a little man complex. You've seen all types of other violent incidents that Tory has had. He's threatened people. He's wanting to take guns. He played with guns and so forth. You know, he had substance problems. And ultimately, when someone is going through situations like that, things like this happen. And there's repercussions to that. And this is why
Tory ain't never getting out fucking with VLAD.
Hey, I'm not. Hey, listen. I think Tory made a couple of mistakes that night. I think he was chasing that punani.
Right.
You know, just like many men, that insatiable thirst and appetite for, you know, for beautiful women. You know, that's pretty much kind of where everything kind of devolved and really, you know, spiraled. So I agree with you. He made mistakes.
Hold on. I just want to say this. By the way, after I put this out, I had a message from one of the nurses that was there when Megan went to the hospital. And she said, I was a travel nurse in LA. Megan had bullet fragments removed from her heels. I seen this with my own eyes. I pulled out meds for the doctor for pain and to numb the area so she could tolerate the removal. Well, I think she had bullet fragments, man. I don't think Jay-Z bribed the doctor and threw some bullet fragments at him and said, hey, put these on the scene.
Well, tell that travel nurse congratulations on violating the HIPAA laws. They ever subpoena your DMs and they found out who that is, that person will be prosecuted.
Listen, you want to send messages out?
Hey, no,
that nigga
that is on you.
That nigga academics know the law. This fuck nigga right here know the law, but
can't protect her at this point. I'm not saying her name at this point, but
it's neither here nor there. Vlad, I guess you know. I hear your Tory specific points, and you know, my thing is that my overall thing is that I won't agree, even though I know you're being satirical, whatever. But I do want people to know there's an invisible hand in mostly everything in American society, whether it's politics, whether it's media, whether it's hip hop, whether it's with labels, whether it's this whole new infrastructure with a particular thing. It was blanket pardons, which a lot of them had domestic violence and other thing that was violence against women against on their docket, and it's now been wiped clean. So this idea that
it wasn't going to happen anyways. But did Jay have some sort of like, okay, he kind of moved things around to make sure that the job he got was secured? Yeah, maybe. But that's a lot different than sending someone to go kill a guy in prison and hiring a pedophile to do it, which is what happened, right? It's different than paying off a judge, having some words with someone or whatever else, and using your star power. Listen, man, you and I use our star power to get shit. Have you ever been to a restaurant and there's no reservation? Oh, academics, come on in. Oh, I got a table for you. Oh, no, it's on the house. You know, here's some free food. Oh, here's a discount on this. Here's that.
Vlad, I hear what you're saying. What I'm saying is that there's only one entity that's hip hop adjacent or hip hop related that have 5,000 accusations of underhanded tactics, going all the way from framing people for convictions to influencing powerful people to keep other people's out the spot, that we could tangibly see every day that are actually making decisions, right? It's not like we're like, no.
See, X spot on because he know the behind the scenes shit. It's a lot of shit he know he can't even speak on, so he just can't put it out there, but he telling you who it is.
Oh, like
did he hasn't been doing this his whole career? The Shine case? The whole case with the celebrity basketball game where people died.
And the whole dialogue about Diddy is that once the power and influence went away, he got exposed, and even the things that we learned, how was he able to cover up this for 20 years or 30 years? How? If they told you he blew up Kid Cudi's car back in 2010, you would have said, that's ridiculous. This guy's a billionaire. Who would actually threaten their livelihood as a billionaire to break in someone's house with a gun and then blow up his house with some type of fire bomb? Wouldn't you say that, Vlad? Be honest. It would sound ridiculous.
Yeah, no, listen.
And now when we see the videos and pictures, we're like, wow, he did that.
Your point in this, and look, and then it kind of came out later on that Diddy was a drug addict.
Oh, Lord. So about Diddy was a drug addict.
Behavior, right?
Diddy was more than a drug addict.
This is what drug addicts do. You've never seen someone do something stupid on drugs? I have.
Well, and let me tell you.
Was car on fire?
From my knowledge,
get to the picture.
Thank you, Vlad. You know,
so who, according to Pay, that was going to, at that time she was only managed by them. They were looking to sign her away from 1501. Is it possible that they felt that, fuck, even if it really happened, of course they're probably going to believe her. This is a perfect, firestorm for you to end up and get what Rihanna got in terms of sympathy. And not saying Rihanna's not an amazing.
Fuck no, she ain't finna get no one knew what Rihanna got.
Talented artist, but that sympathy universally made Rihanna kind of go to another level in people saying, hey, listen, we have to protect this woman. She got abused by another famous entertainer, and maybe they were looking at possible that angle.
Rihanna was the first exception, and she might be the only. I mean, Megan Thee Stallion.
Parents of children who play Roblox.
Oh my God.
If your child was sexually exploited, abused, or pressured to share explicit content by someone they met on Roblox, you make
it, and they're hoping to
curry the favor of people
say this is the victim. However, it's not worked. So the work is not done until she's a full victim.
Yeah, listen, I get it, and that sounds plausible to me. You're trying to get this client, you're trying to get this artist away from this other independent label. You're already managing them. She ultimately did leave, right? She broke the deal with 1500 and went over there and so forth, and I get it. But if you then say, and then they paid off the judge in order to do that, just to get this artist on their label. Then they paid off jury members in order to do that. Like, this is
only
no. All the other shit never happened. Did they try to cozy up to her? Sure. Well, of course. If you see a business opportunity, and listen, ultimately she did not become the next Rihanna. So it didn't really work out that way, did it?
Vlad, my whole point is we got to separate some. There's actual kooks out there, right? And people that go too far. It's like saying, yo, it's some Muslims that crash into the World Trade Center. Man, all y'all Muslim niggas is doing. No, there's a few people that's out there. You're right, but the majority of people are normal and sane, and maybe they have questions if there's any association with the judge. Like, for example, they have questions about Tory's former attorney, which is Sean Hawley, who, after she stopped working for Tory, she went on to produce a documentary, or actually a multi-part series, which she named every episode after Jay-Z songs. And people are like, well, that's interesting. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe it's a coincidence there, too. She's defended Tory.
Well, okay, so let's talk about that whole situation. Remember, she stepped away from the case before it went to trial.
Yes.
Right? Because what obviously happened, well, not obviously, but what I think probably happened was that she told him he's not going to win. And she told him that she's not going to represent him in lie in court and so forth, and told him certain things that he did not want to hear. So clearly, the fact that he had to scramble and find a whole new lawyer right before trial.
Let's represent that a little bit more fairly. So her main thing, and I read the letters, and by the way, we've seen Megan Cunning's publish them. I guess they have some relationship. Which, by the way, I'm actually concerned that how those emails were put out, given the fact there should be attorney-client privilege. But, that's a story for another day. Here's the point. When reading those emails, her main point of discussion was that
she
advised Tory against the main strategy of what should go forward. And to what you said, and you have said on many podcasts, that Tory should take the stand, Tory wanted to take the stand. She told Tory, I cannot be your attorney if that's what you're going to do, because we've tried a mock interrogation or you taking a stand, and I'm not comfortable with that defense. So that's the majority of the issue. She claims that, according to her, that the trial strategy were not incongruent. Tory was down to get up there and speak for himself, and she felt that's not the case, and also pushing blame on other people was not the case. Woken up on my sleep for your tweet, and that only happened for me like it and people that we know. Right? Because I don't listen to Billie Eilish. But if she's actually picked up there, whether I understand her words or not, I don't know her songs, and I don't really like whatever the hell she got going on, most likely. Yeah. So the thing with Kendrick, okay, you're basically saying Kendrick made it off, and if you look at his streams, it was primarily between the songs that came out during the beef. And yes, he has some duets. Outside of that, he's not streamed that much. So they put a guy on the Super Bowl for one song during a moment. So now you're saying that guy is more valid than a guy who's crushing it for the entire year. Since 2020, I just want to give you the stat. Since 2020, 3 out of 5 years, he's been the top 5 most streamed artist Taylor Swift has been the other two. It's Bad Bunny and Taylor Swift. By the way, every day this year, every single day, Bad Bunny is the most streamed artist on Spotify, with the exception of a few days, and those days only went to Taylor Swift. It's a 1-2 show. If you can't get Taylor Swift and you want the biggest, you got to go with Bad Bunny. Now,
all right. So hold on. I just looked it up while I was talking to you. I did some chat GPTs and I kind of focused on the US. So in 2024, Bad Bunny was streamed between 4.7 and 5.2 billion. Kendrick was streamed between 4.1 and 4.6. It's really close. The two of them had similar streaming numbers that year. In the US only. Now, globally, it's a whole different story. In the US only, they were very similar in streams.
Okay, perfect. Now you get to the argument that I want to have. Do you think the Super Bowl is meant to be a US catering event, or is it a global event? What would you think? Because
I think that the reality is that it's a U.S. catered event, but the aspiration is for it to be a global event. And this is why they chose Bad Bunny that year, this year.
Absolutely not. I think the opposite. I think they've been trying to get to international markets. They've been
trying. No. But primarily right now, it's still a U.S. event. They want it to be more global.
I'm not saying that's primarily. I'm saying the goals of the NFL. The goals of the NFL is.
The goal is definitely global, 100%.
They have games almost
they want
every
it to be
week.
bigger than soccer. Yeah, they want it to be the next, soccer. I get it.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is why they did that. And, ultimately it makes sense business-wise for what they do in it. I mean, and does Bad Bunny deserve to be on that stage? 100%. Am I happy that he got on that stage? 100%. Did I watch the show and did not enjoy it because they don't speak English, and watch a whole bunch of other people that don't speak English have the same reaction? Yes. And that was my point. I feel that right now, it should have been an artist that catered to the actual primary audience, which is English speaking, and it should have been in English. And that's my point. And people can disagree with you.
So let me ask you a question. When Kendrick Lamar hops up on the Super Bowl platform and he's performing a song based on a diss, which is a diss song, to one guy that, yes, culturally and the entire hip hop is clued in, you think that someone who's a Zach Bryan fan, who's from Oklahoma or maybe Nashville, Tennessee, you think they know what the hell's going on? So again, the point is, you can't.
But here's the thing: whether they know what's going on or not, whether they're a fan of the song and can sing along or not, is one thing. But to actually listen to the show and understand the lyrics, I think that's a big deal, as opposed to, basically exposed, basically listening to a bunch of gibberish because you don't understand the language. There's some hot rappers out of China, out of Russia, or,
you
out
think
of Japan,
during the Super Bowl, right, where they advertise the most amount of beer, alcohol, and other, mind-altering substances, they're thinking about, I hope y'all get the lyrics? Because this is my next argument. My next argument was going to be this. I think of all the Super Bowls, obviously the Dr. Dre and that conglomerate, but also Shakira and was it J-Lo or Shakira?
J-Lo, yeah, J-Lo and Shakira. Yeah.
I think what this Super Bowl checked the box off was that it felt intimate. It was full of vibes. Yes, I get it. There was not many songs you could sing, line for line, but it's like feel-good music that you might not know. Have you ever gone to like an event where maybe you don't know all the songs, but it's just feel-good music, right? And that's what happens when you go outside your comfort zone and you go to other cultures or other type of music that might play music that is sonically pleasing, whatever. You might not know everything, but it's feel-good. I thought they did a great job giving really feel-good music, and the vibes were there. And I think
it was a cool show, man. It was well-produced, everything else like that. But the thing is that Bad Bunny, from what I see, appears to be a lyricist. He's not like a singer or harmonizer where just...
No, hold on.
But Bad Bunny, is he just singing, repeating a phrase over and over again and just singing melodies? I feel like there's actual lyrics and meaning behind his songs. His songs are pretty dense.
Hold on. You're right.
But his songs seem very dense lyrics-wise. Right, so clearly he has something to say, and there's clearly messages he's trying to portray in his music, trying to get along to the actual listener.
Like this.
My thing is that I missed all of that. Even if I look up what the meanings are or the translations, it's not the same in terms of the nuances of someone actually singing and so forth. So people who listen to Kendrick Lamar at least can hear what he has to say.
Yeah, but nobody.
Kendrick ain't saying shit. You know, I listen to Kendrick like one time, but that's it.
Bad Bunny have no idea outside.
Nigga listen to Drake every day. I don't want to do it.
That's it, man. And that's the point. I'm a serious music person, man. The DJ, my name is not just for the show.
I get it, but you're also you're with a hip hop mind to say lyricism. Like a lot of times, it's the melody. It's what drives the song. Like for example, you know, first of all, I'm dating hella Latinas. I love Latinas. Love my black women too. But still,
man, get to the Epstein already. I'm only on here for an hour.
A decent amount of Spanish. I
heard
Spanish in high school.
This shit for the streets.
When I hear the Monaco song, like I know the beat and I know like the general melody, and I turn up to that song without knowing the lyrics. Again, like yours.
You know, we can't listen to all this shit.
Right?
God damn.
You know, these people don't know these songs. You get what I'm saying? Like, I had an amazing time watching Usher, and I'm watching him, like, do all this amazing stuff, and I think it plays better on TV as it does in a stadium, because I'm sitting next to some white guy who's a hillbilly who got money because, I don't know, like, his parents are from, like, Nashville that own some product that I don't know about, and they're just standing there like, what the fuck is Usher? They don't even know what it is. So the idea that you please everybody, and just because they could understand it, they like it, no, they stand there.
To the point, dog.
And they're like, what the heck is this? That's why
when like being a DJ,
he went to the Super Bowl and that nobody was going crazy for Kendrick shit. I agree.
This nigga can talk.
If it was that Summer Jam, they probably would. But it's a Super Bowl.
Ain't talking about
when I went to the Super Bowl, I remember. Listen, and think about how much I'm thinking I'm going to see. Super Bowl. That remind me of the Epstein files in 2018, 2019. We've never seen a case like that. Why is this sealed? Shut up. There's nothing here to see. Okay, we're going to follow the case. Maybe there's something interesting that pops up there. We're following the case. We're following the case. The guy dies. He just hangs himself. Wait, hold on.
Listen, it's called Connect Team, and it's insane. I don't do schedules or timesheets manually anymore.
And it works?
Oh, like you wouldn't believe it. My team puts in
this is a commercial?
I click auto schedule, and
bitch.
boom, there it goes. No more Excel, no more...
Waiting right now. Well, okay. Just shut up. Let's move on. There's bigger fish to fry. Let's look at the economy. Let's look at crypto. Well, there's a couple more. Well, like based on some of what we were hearing and what we've seen, he taking pictures with mad other people who seem popular, who seem like maybe him and his popular buddies and billionaire buddies, maybe they were all doing it. Wait, don't worry about it. Well, can we see all the investigation shit? There's nothing to see. What do you mean there's nothing to see? There's no list. No, there got to be a list, because there had to be a list of people that flew with him to the island. If he was doing all the shit at the island, maybe we need to look at who went to the island with him. I get it. Maybe you could say it reasonably. I don't know. Whoever's on the plane 20 times that went to the island with him, right when they were ready to fuck kids, they said, peace out, go in this room and read a book. You go fuck the kids by yourself. Or maybe we could say, y'all over fucking the kids.
What you say?
They throw another monkey wrench in it. Well, some people just didn't want to book a private commercial flight. They just flew with him. Some people were doing business meetings. Not everybody was doing it. Here's the list of the people who were on the flight, but it's everybody. You don't know who was doing what. Stop asking questions. Y'all said y'all caught him, right? Y'all caught him, like, trying to procure kids and traffic kids. Could you tell us how you caught him? Like, could we see the details? Like, could we see, like, maybe all of his correspondence?
Yeah, no, you can't see
Listen,
that.
we're going to give you one more thing, and that's it. There's no more to ask. It's over. This happened for years, people.
This nigga's so funny, boy.
Just last year, we said, yo, come on. Nah, hold on. This shit stinks. We got too many questions. We need to see all of the files. Yes, protect the victims. We're not trying to, because that's what they use. Hey, we can't really release this stuff because, you know, this is sensitive. The victims would not want to be, you know, the heinous things that may happen by Jeffrey Epstein and his wife. We would not want you guys to know because it would shame the victims in perpetuity. And everybody said, oh, no, just blur out the victims. We just want to see what was being done. Then they're like, well, we don't know if we could really release it. It goes against all the victims protection acts.
Yep.
The victims jump up. We want them released.
We want this shit released. I ain't gonna lie, I kind of want to see. Everybody want to see what's going on with that shit.
Yeah, we're putting some stuff out. We just don't know when. We got some folders. Just come through, come look at them. Yeah, shit's getting a little spooky now. Hey, cut the short shit short. An election happens. Donald Trump runs on, when I get in, I'm going to give you them files. Like, I bet it's lit.
And he said
he going to give us the files. He picks the director and the deputy director of the FBI as two niggas who've been saying, we need the list. Those guys get appointed to the FBI, who essentially has the list. They get appointed. They win an election. What list? What y'all talking about? Wait, hold on now. Hold on. We ain't that stupid. There's a point.
What list?
There's a point. This is in the parallels, people. There's a point where
what
Trump.
List, nigga? What list? Straight up.
Trump called people stupid. He said, look.
Instead of talking about the great achievements we've had, a great gentleman yesterday, as you know, went on CNBC and he made the statement that Trump may go down as the greatest president of all in the United States. And instead of talking about the things we've achieved, we've had tremendous achievement. They're wasting their time with a guy who obviously had some very serious problems, who died 3-4 years.
They're giving us all the excuse. He died.
Years ago. I'd rather talk about the success we have with the economy, the best we've ever had.
Trump know he gonna win his way up out of this shit.
All of the things we've done, including
Trump ain't going down.
I mean, you see it. Instead, they want to talk about the Epstein hoax, and the sad part.
Hoax.
Fake news.
It's
Trump ain't going down, boy. That shit fake news, boy.
Really doing the Democrats' work.
We done seen this shit before.
Stupid people.
Where does that start? The people who believe this, they're stupid. They're stupid. So that happens, and we're like, nah, man, nah, something's up.
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck Trump did. But whatever Epstein say he did. I don't know what he did, but
something's up. We need it. You campaigned that you was gonna give it to us. You put these people as appointed people in the DOJ that they're going to deliver it to us. We don't want to talk about the economy. We don't give a fuck about Venezuela. We don't give a damn about Israel. We don't give a damn about Ukraine. We don't give a damn about China. Fuck Taiwan and fuck all these other niggas. Give us what we need. Where's the Epstein files? And then we hear this bullshit. Hold on.
Hey, Trump,
I gotta go to
Trump called niggas stupid.
The DOJ says it found no credible evidence that Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals, concluding Epstein did not maintain a client list that he used to traffic underage girls.
Another one. Word salad and playing up on words. You see how Vlad came on here? He said, "Who would try to bribe a judge? Like, who would actually pay for murder for hire? That's Lil Durk stuff." You see, that's to fool the masses and saying, well, you guys are too much into believing. It's not about the actual accusations. It's about something stinks.
Yeah, for sure.
So they come out time and time again, y'all are crazy. Y'all are stupid. Then they come out and say, there ain't nothing there. You know what happens afterwards? Well, now it gets political. They realize this shit people really care about. Democrats and Republicans alike say, yo, nah, hold on, man. Let's make a law. This is what we got to see everything.
They want to see that shit. Not everybody, but I sure want to see that shit.
Now we get this bullshit
every day. I be trying to see what the fuck going on. Twitter fingers on you niggas.
President Trump signing a long-awaited bill forcing the DOJ to release its files on the late notorious sex offender Jeffrey Epstein within 30 days. Now, there will be some exceptions to what's actually released.
Now, Pam Bondi, Attorney General, Kash Patel over here, FBI Director, they the one who told us ain't shit really there. Now, here's the funny part.
It was lying like a motherfucker.
Let me play a little bit.
As the Attorney General can redact files to protect victims' privacy and also withhold info that would jeopardize an active federal investigation if one begins. The documents
they give them the outs. Oh, well, you could redact and withhold information if y'all are investigating. Well, basically, it tells us you'll never really get the real truth because we'll just say we're investigating them and close the investigation before we get out of office. That if you come back 4 years later saying, what about the other files that y'all didn't release now because you were investigating? Did you tell us what those are? You look stupid, right? Remember, it's all about making people questioning look stupid. Okay, so that happens. Then we get, after, the 30 days thing happens, so Trump signs the thing.
Well, 3 million pages now from the Epstein files have been released by the Justice.
Didn't they say there was no credible shit up in this?
3 million.
3 million.
3 million. Hell yeah,
videos.
Shit. Hold on,
you see why? Hey, chat. I'm gonna keep telling y'all. Just trust your gut. Don't trust me. Don't trust nobody. Trust your gut. Okay? I get it. I think Vlad was engagement farming. Honestly, I think it was rage baiting and engagement farming. But it was dangerous because he's doing the Rock Nation, Jay-Z, and the other powerful people bidding because he blanketly made it a viral thing where people are going to be pitting against other people to say, you believe that? You're dumb. You're the stupid one. Why would you believe that shit? The guy who said it said it's lies. You just hear me sit here with Vlad, and we went back and forth. Half the stuff, he didn't know what the fuck was going on with it. Hey, you said... Wait, so you say Rock Nation has a stake in Tory being in jail or not? Oh, well, contradicts himself 50 times.
Pictures and more were all withheld from the public during the initial release of documents in December. Our D.C. Bureau Chief Ben Kennedy is live in Washington with the latest. Ben?
Capitol lawmakers here in D.C. have called for transparency as today's release includes thousands of emails and conversations and also photos that have been blacked out to protect victims. The Department of Justice released at least 3 million new Epstein files, a massive amount of material.
3 million. They said there was nothing there. Trump literally said it was stupid people that cared about this shit. Dumbass niggas. It was... They gave you 3 million documents that allegedly only stupid
motherfuckers. Including 2,000 videos. And
so all I'm trying to tell you, and as it pertains to Jay-Z and Rock Nation, I'm not accusing them of maybe this particular association or act associated with this individual you see on the stream with.
There it is, but act gonna bring down Rock Nation by itself. Well, I promise you.
What I'm saying is that if you saw this tweet going viral by Vlad and you felt intrigued, fuck what Vlad is saying. Trust your gut. If you were asking questions saying, hey, why do I keep hearing this motherfucker's name around this type of activity? Keep asking questions. Just keep asking questions. The people who tell you you're stupid for asking questions, put them on a side list. They're either willfully ignorant or they're part of the program. Engage with the people who are down.
Holy cow. This is sweet. Can I ride it? The GTS Rally XL opened up a whole...
Those are the people who are morally innocent and morally have the right frame of mind. No one has to believe people are doing wrong, but conversation should be had. Also, don't let people lump you with the lunatics that's how they dismiss you. It's like Muslims that have gotten dismissed over the years based on the acts of a few radical niggas or radical Muslims who did some violent shit. The majority of Muslims aren't violent. The majority of people who believe that there's something fishy here aren't stupid. They aren't lunatics. Yes, there's going to be a few people that's going to come up with some conspiracy. Yeah, Jay-Z killed 59 people and he did this and he did that. And yo, yeah, Jay-Z and Jay-Z and Beyonce probably eat, you know, people's organs for dinner. Like, yeah, that sounds stupid. Like, the regular people don't believe that bullshit. What the regular people believe is that if there's enough smoke, perhaps there's a fire. And if we can't find the fire, we need to find why there's so much smoke for years. Because that's where we need to look at.
Yeah.
No one wants to talk about the association. Everybody now, in hindsight, is saying, why was Jeffrey Epstein, a guy who had no collegiate degree that would warrant him being any type of financial advisor, why was he being paid supposedly like 7 to 8 or 9 figures for economic consultations? How does that make sense? How does that make sense?
It don't make no sense.
Imagine.
I gotta fast forward this shit, man.
You a high school dropout, and they said they're gonna give you $100 million to consult the brain surgeon and the heart surgeon. You've never ever taken a class.
I don't know if Jay-Z had something to do with this shit, but I don't know. That nigga got that money now. Ain't no telling what this nigga into. No telling.
You've never taken a medical
crazy,
class.
Bro.
You know nothing about anatomy. Might be a little bit odd, right? That's not a legit question? Why the hell this guy was with them guys? Okay. Why the hell was Jay-Z, who supposedly the women he was associated with or accused of dating were either barely legal or we don't know. His best friend, or not best friend, let me digress on that. One of his associates happened to be Jeffrey Epstein. Sorry, Harvey Weinstein.
Worse, nigga, 2 shots.
Next, Pam Bondi.
God damn.
Congressional highlights, and basically, she's on there just, you know, they ask her like, "Yo, you gonna like tell us what's up?" She says, "Let's talk about the fucking economy." Like, you know what I mean? Like, this shit was crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I seen that shit.
And you have to know, I really like when Vlad says he has no horse in the race. That's not true. Vlad's horse in the race is that, you know, I think Vlad was doing it self-servingly. He just wanted attention. He got 10 million views. Why? Because this shit is viral. But it actually does hurt the overall plight of people who do believe some of this shit is just fishy and funny. He's left up a tweet that Rock Nation would support in the sense of, yes, it's now made everyone who believes any of this stupid. That they're now being, that's the conversation. If you believe it, you're dumb. Rather than if you believe it, maybe you're onto something. Right? So it's a quick sleight of hand. Pam Bondi, after, you know, there was no more files left that could have any client lists. Yeah, this is the DOJ, like, you know, this is their little grift or their explanation. Well, we investigated it for bad years. We have like 7 million documents.
Yes, sir.
And all type of evidence on this fucking creep. But because there's not an evidence that says Jeffrey Epstein client list on like some SpongeBob like retarded shit that just writes the name of all his clients down, there's no client list. Maybe it's a little bit more complicated than that. Maybe the client list is a group of people that funded him, that hung out with him, that traveled frequently with him and relied upon him and seemed to enjoy the same things he did. Maybe he don't write it down. Right? Like, have you ever seen, like, okay, they caught El Chapo. You think El Chapo had a list like my favorite drug dealers? Like, come on. Come on. My favorite drug dealers. Santiago, Jose. What about them twins over there? What are you talking about?
He might, though. I ain't gonna tell him what niggas might have had.
Like, that's the point. So, of course, technically they're right. So they get to call you stupid. Yo, there's no list. What are y'all talking about?
Shit,
okay, you're playing us for stupid. You know what we mean by a list. Who the fuck is this nigga's friends? Who is he getting money from? Who's funding him? Who's going on all these trips? And what are they talking about like they enjoy it? Does it look like this nigga had a bunch of people that was fucking kids with him? That's what we talking about. You know, they were like, well, we looked through the files. There is no list that says my favorite friends to fuck kids with. Number 1, Bill Gates. No! What? What? Like, come on.
He might have had one of those lists, though. Ain't no telling. He could have had one of those lists.
So they get to say these stupid shit. Then they bring Pam Bondi after we get half of the files. We still don't know why the other half ain't come out. Listen to this shit.
To address the Epstein files, more than 500 attorneys and reviewers spent thousands of hours painstakingly reviewing millions of pages to comply with Congress's law.
Here we go.
We've released more than 3 million pages, including 180,000 images, all to the public, while doing our very best in the time frame allotted by the legislation to protect victims. And if you brought us a victim's name that was inadvertently released, we immediately redacted it. All members of Congress, as you know, are invited to visit DOJ to see for yourselves. I want to take a moment to acknowledge the Epstein survivors who are here today. I'm a career prosecutor, and despite what the ranking member said, I have spent my entire career fighting for victims, and I will continue to do so. I am deeply sorry for what any victim has been through, especially as a result of that monster. If you have any information.
Bro, this lady is like, she getting paid a lot. That's all I can say. They paying her a lot of money, boy. They paying her good, but you know Trump gonna pardon her. That's part of the deal. So
to share with law enforcement about anyone who has hurt you or abused you, the FBI is waiting to hear from you.
You know the other thing that was told? So remember, she says if anybody want to go see, supposedly you can see some extra stuff, but you got to go in the building that the DOJ has specified, and you can't bring phones. You can go there and you can see what they got. You can just see it, okay? No recording. You can see it. So a bunch of people went. They get to find out the exclusive shit they can see that nobody else can see, still redacted. Now, here's the next kicker they came up with. The files that supposedly wasn't redacted by the DOJ was already redacted. Apparently, the FBI redacted a whole bunch of shit, and then the DOJ redacted. This is a double redaction. Basically, you ain't about to find out a motherfucking thing. This is the point. Again, I am far from a conspiracy theory or theorist in any of this type of stuff. I really, when it came to, like, for example, things like Alex Jones talking about Sandy Hook, I vehemently disagreed. When it came to 9/11's conspiracies, I'm highly skeptical. I'm not the one that usually jumps for everything. But this shit has been so blatant. It's been so enough that I've started to realize that maybe if people have legit factual patterns that seem to come to a solid and sane mind conclusion consistently, maybe we should ask more questions. This is one of the ones I do think that we should ask a lot more questions. Okay? The people who don't like the questions to be asked, I think they're kind of funny in the light with it. Anyway, not to necessarily make this about the Epstein thing, because we got to, kind of focus more on this tweet. And yes, Vlad is stepping away from this. And I know some of you guys are going to say, well, I think Rock Nation paid him. No, I don't think they did at all.
I think so. I think they
Rock
did pay
Nation
that
received a Christmas gift today. Vlad has jumped out there for attention and out of trying to make a point against Tory, a lot of things that people are questioning and made those people questioning those things look stupid. Because he's saying, that ain't real, I just tweeted it. You're dumb for believing it. I'm here to tell just y'all, please, have some faith. Maybe not, I'm not standing with everything in this stuff. Again, I'm not one of the people that said Meg never got shot. I do believe a bullet hit her, even though I always said it not directly. So I don't believe every single thing. But if you tell me that there's some shit that it doesn't smell right, that's blatantly and clear, obvious to me when it comes to this. Rock Nation, Jay-Z, I'm not sure if they've did some devious or evil shit in the past. What I am very sure about is that they're working currently and continually seems to be in a covert way, either trying to cover up or do other things that's illegal, maybe or necessarily.
That nigga don't like Jay-Z, but
whatever their agenda and goal is. I believe
what Jay-Z did to this nigga,
where these things
will don't like Jay-Z.
Culminate and they will not be able to escape anymore. And just like when we talk about the Epstein files, where now everyone's saying enough is enough, y'all niggas are lying. We want the truth, and we want to see this. We want to see that. We're not believing the bullshit anymore. I think the days are numbered, and this is not a threat because I have nothing necessarily to gain, and I'm just looking at, as an inquiring mind and inquiring person, the people who have defended, stayed silent, talk about it, their days are numbered because people are going to stop listening to their bullshit, right? At first, it was like, all right, cool. Like, yo, y'all are trying to just tear this guy down. After a while, it's like, why this nigga's name is in every motherfucking thing? How? Why?
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to do it. This is Base 44.
Okay. Let me see. Was there any other fallout from this?
That nigga act trying to sank Jay-Z.
I give VLAD credit for sitting on here for damn near 2 hours and really having that discussion. I respect that. Okay. Okay. What's this? Did anybody talk about this? There's a lot of quietness on this, right? Today is Sunday, though, right? Today's Sunday? Am I tripping?
Yo, that's crazy, yo.
Patience.
What this nigga talking?
This is how it looks in Sao Paulo in 2014. Your favorite media figure got all time to talk about Ari. They want to talk about everything. Nobody wants to talk about situations like this. This is not being hidden. It's out there. A simple Google search will figure it out. Here's the conversation that I'm wondering why no one wants to talk about.
Who the fuck was
that?
The
email from the CEO of the Barclays, former CEO, to Jeffrey Epstein says, you know why we're not Sao Paulo? Watch the TV ads on the Super Bowl. It's all about hip blacks in cars with white women. The group that should be in the streets. The group that should be in the streets. The group that should be in the streets. Let me say one more time. The group that should be even though white billionaires are saying, thank God, the black people who should be saying, we won't take this anymore. The group that should be in the streets like Sao Paulo. Let's see what the email says. They have been bought off by Jay-Z.
Nah.
What are we talking about? If we don't see the conversation, you know, they love to say, well, we can't talk about the other shit where they say Jay and Weinstein because that was a random tip. That was a random tip. I can't really. This is an email from a verifiable CEO to Jeffrey Epstein that they don't know culture. Only thing they know is money. And they're saying the black people who should be in the streets protesting whatever BS we got going on, Jay-Z bought them off. We shouldn't talk about that. Where are all the people who, you know, they love calling me a tether? It's black people shit. You know, like it's like where's the pro-black people who claim white supremacy, who claim this? they've been very silent on this. And this is the point of even the people. Where is Tariq Nasheed? Tariq Nasheed always be talking about, the white supremacists put like a black guy there to make it all good. Well, if in his terms, this is exactly what this would be. The group that should be in the streets, they were bought off. How is this not the biggest topic? Oh, nah, y'all just pulling up. Now y'all pulling up like random tips. Let's see if we can find who these people are.
This the police ass nigga, bro. This nigga the straight troll. Bro.
This is him.
This nigga act troll, bro.
Let's go to his Wikipedia.
This nigga, boy, I tell you, I gonna get your ass, boy. Don't if you on the run from the police and academics find out he got you.
He's an American banker and former chief executive of the Barclays.
I don't know how niggas saying do this all day. You gotta pay me a lot. Like, I need to pay some money, nigga, like $100,000.
Man, y'all got it, man.
I'm just at a high chilling, so this shit.
I also
really
realize at this point I'm like talking to myself, right? Like I think I wouldn't be surprised if they're like, yo, put Nicki Minaj and academics in a straitjacket and get them out of here. Yo, because I think like I'm pointing out like anything I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna put it on the screen. Nobody wants to talk about it. All right, cool. It is what it is. It is what it is, bro. It is what it is. I feel like at some point y'all are gonna hear academics is crazy. They're gonna make up some other lie about me. The distraction is coming. They try to pivot us a couple of times, but the distraction is coming. I'm trying to lock back in on the conversation, and again, I'm not gonna attack my media compadres, but I implore y'all as audience, if you watch me and watch them, and they're on their podcast, they're on their radio show, they're on their TV show, they're doing whatever.
Yeah.
And they keep talking about a bunch of fuckery. Maybe just say, hey, could y'all take 10 minutes to talk about this? Why the hell they're saying Jay-Z bought them out? What does that mean to you? You know what's funny? Because if it was a email saying, thank God the dumb black people who are Republicans, Trump bought out, it would be all over the place. Very interesting. Anything else we need to, I feel like we've been on here for 4 hours. It's kind of been exhaustive, not gonna lie to you. I feel like we've done as much as we could do without Milagro. You would notice there was an overarching or overwhelming amount of motion denied on behalf of the defendant as opposed to the plaintiff. That was a little bit odd. Now, I would never say or utter that I believe they got paid off because I have no proof. But I do believe there was some influence there, and that's where, again, I'm not going to say it's only unique to maybe this particular situation. I think when you have a lot of power, you sway powerful people. I want to give you one example when it comes to, again, not the criminal case, but I want to say the civil case, because I saw a lot of crazy shit when it came to that. In the civil case with Milagro Cooper and Meg Thee Stallion, the judge saw cause to issue a subpoena for the deposition of many different people. I was one of them. They thought that Aiden Ross should sit before for deposition. They stopped short of actually requiring Drake just because they couldn't find him. It's Drake, so it's going to be hard to kind of just run up on him. But I suppose if they had found Drake, they would have forced Drake to do it too. Here's the interesting part about it. Remember, as I said, I was never in the actual case. I never went to a day of the trial. I've never spoken with Meg about the trial. I've never spoken to the DA about the trial. Never spoken to Tory's lawyer about the trial. And Tory has not had conversation with me about his case outside of an interview, which I think that was just mainly a public statement. So I really have no proprietary information other than my report.
What happened? We'll go accordingly, okay? But if you guys are not telling us, if you guys are, then I don't think... I really cannot go to jail. Okay. I really can't go to jail.
Wait, ain't you the one shot? Wait, hold up now. They said when Tori was on the shit, apologizing to me, and I was so drunk, it was because it's clear that he shot her. Well, why the hell is the victim saying to the cops, I can't go to jail? If there's nothing that's jailable. Okay.
I cannot have that on my image. Okay. So how did that...
That also is very, very telling. I cannot have that on my image. When it comes to, well, why would Meg want the narrative to be, this guy shot me and I'm a victim? She says it to the cops that night. I can't have this type of stuff on my image.
What happened to you? Glass. Glass? Where? Where we were coming from.
You hear her. So what happened? I stepped on glass when another officer points to her foot.
I'm not from here, so okay.
That's the only place you got shot at? That's the only place you got shot?
I didn't get shot.
You did. Y'all hear that part, right? You sure you ain't get shot? I didn't get shot.
I didn't get shot. No, ma'am. I mean, no, sir.
I didn't get shot. Okay. All right. So let's keep it going. We're just going to go down this one more time. Again, we're here already. The LA police are all on Jay-Z's payroll. It doesn't stop with LA. But you're not really ready to hear that part. Well, the reason why Rock Nation probably loves this tweet by Vlad, because he's being so overt and so speculative that, yes, if you believe everything to the T of what he's saying, they could label you as an idiot. Here's the problem. Not necessarily the LA police are on Jay-Z's payroll, but we should probably look at the police in this case, period. Their investigation, after getting reports that shots were fired and they see a woman bleeding, they even write she stepped on glass. With no proper examination, they hold her there. She's telling them the same thing. Remember, the investigation, and again, I'm not saying the LA police are on anybody's payroll, but if the people who believe that there's some fishiness going on, this was sloppy police work at best. Same thing we saw in the A$AP Rocky case. A$AP Rocky supposedly had shot a guy. The guy went to the store. Rocky and him dipped because they ran. Then the guy comes back the next day and picks up the bullets and gives it to the cops. The cops were there the day before.
Introducing Iron Beam, a bright choice for futures trading. Iron Beam is an...
It's the guy. Doesn't make sense, does it? Doesn't seem like you should convict A$AP Rocky on him shooting someone when there was 7 cops on the scene looking for bullets. They couldn't find it, but the next day, conveniently, who finds the bullets? Or shell casings. That guy. Well, let's think about it as Tory case.
Well, the cops show up. I'm high.
They get called. It's on 911 call, record. There's a shooting. It's their job to figure out.
I gotta change my camera.
Was there a gun used? Who got shot at? Who's the victim?
Matter of fact.
Who used the gun? Where were the shots fired? Who called? And who saw what? They say they find a gun in the front seat.
Coloring.
Based on their history and training, we see this a lot in federal agents, write up in complaints. Based on my information and training, I could say That gun probably was a little bit warm. There's no actual statement by the cops that definitively say there was gunshots fired by that gun that we recovered in that front seat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sloppy already. So yeah, there's a gun. They did come to a thing that said there was gunshots fired. They don't know if that's that gun. There's nothing memorialized in that report. Okay. Well, let's talk to the people. Well, Meg says, I was never shot. Tory, he's playing stupid. And Kelsey's acting like she's a fish out of water. The driver is like, you don't know what's going on.
I don't know. I think Tory shot him.
So what do they have to do? They have to go ask witnesses what the hell happened. They get a few witnesses. One supposedly is the critical witness. That's their house is across the street and within the closest proximity that they heard the shots before they looked out the window to kind of see a physical representation of what was going on. No, actually, let me correct that. They heard an argument. That's how close they are. It's like, imagine hearing an argument outside. You go to the window, you see something, you see a struggle, then you see shots. The person who's an eyewitness is Sean Kelly.
Who the fuck is Sean Kelly?
Give me 1 second. Where is it at? What's that website that Tory put out? Let's see if we can find it.
Look at got hot McDonald's on his shit. That bitch look good in a motherfucker too. God damn.
Now remember, this is supposedly the eyewitness that's seen the most things that night. Again, I don't want to make this about Tory, honestly.
Well, stop making it about Tory then, nigga. Get off that shit. I'm about to get off this shit.
They're going to make a lot of references or presidential candidates for the Democratic Committee or the Democrats. So even though it's a state case, he could only blah, blah, knowing he likes to bend the rules. Okay. Danza doing the same thing. Now, if you don't know what he's talking about is well documented. The only interview, and by the way, I've approached Kelsey several times. Trying to isolate. Get an interview or follow up about this. I've said, hey, listen, they're saying you did it. They're slandering your name. You're going to speak up for yourself. She's really been... Now she has immunity.
Wait a minute. I'm completely okay with that. That's been pretty obvious.
Yeah, I've learned that people gonna hate you regardless. Like, you can be doing... I think that's very important. I didn't want to take an interview or sit down with anybody until I was past that part, and
smart.
Yeah, and I had earlier this year I was like, you know what?
Tory was hitting her.
This is the year that I want to open up more.
She look ugly.
Let people into my life a little bit.
This what Tory was in. Look how old she looked though. She look old. She look my age. Old. But she don't look like nothing spectacular. She must be thick as fuck, cause she gotta be thick, cause long face right here.
And maybe hope this will help them understand me more. Maybe I'm related. Maybe my story will help somebody else.
Look at that chin. Look at that chin.
So.
Look at that chin. All that. Tory was hitting that. All that chin, long face. Old hand, nigga a hitter, but man.
And I think it's also part of like
she not all right. I don't know.
Maybe this will help.
That's the one night stand right now.
You know, you can't. When we listen to music, how many musicians do you hear that you're like, this music is absolutely terrible, right? but they still get 2.5 million listens a month because they are able to reach through to somebody.
Right.
There's always somebody that's going through the same thing you're going through.
Absolutely.
You know, it's just that's nature.
You
know what I mean? So there's so many people that. Yeah, they'll sit there. There's so many people that'll sit there and troll you, but there's so many people that don't even have courage to type to you to tell you, you know, hey, how did you do it?
Right.
You know, how did you still find a way to navigate through
all of it?
You know, and that's something that we'll get to. For now, I was thinking about how.
Let's see if we could get her. She really said a lot of nothing, and it's interesting Danza is coming around to say this because I think one of the main things, we know he paid for the interview, right? Danza is someone, you know, not a cheap guy, and, you know, he got some bread. You know, he offers his guests, you know, compensation, and we would imagine that she did this for the money. But if I'm going to give you some money and I'm going to be this exclusive interview you're doing, like, hey, you're going to answer the operative question. Did you shoot? Did Tori do it? Like, tell us something.
Yeah.
The wild.
She would have been like the center.
Nah, she was she was a party girl. You know what I'm saying? So I think it wasn't until 2018 where I really realized, like, he would have been like, how the F did you do that?
All that said, a lot of people in the media, they throw around the term best friend loose. I mean, not just in the media, everywhere. And for women, it's like,
I didn't even know about the hair part.
Really?
Until after everything. until after that night, and you start seeing people spin that picture in the media.
Obviously, there's so much that went on with that I would imagine that's very painful to talk about. Betrayal. And is that where the friendship ended? Is that night how the friendship ended between you and Meg?
You know, what's crazy is it's still so unclear to me how we got here. Right. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you consider somebody your best friend, you call them your sister, with them every day. You know what I'm saying?
By the way, I want to consistently and frequently make this. I want to make this this announcement because the reason why I'm calling an Epstein list type move of what Vlad did, that's why Rock Nation is not mad about it, is that I truly believe that they want to pigeonhole us to one thing. I do not want to keep talking about, hey, listen, we already had our questions. We've said it. We think what we think about Tory, but we got to speak about Rock Nation and Jay-Z and their actions across the culture. What they've been accused of doing to Nicki Minaj, what they've accused of doing to Bobby Shmurda, what they've been accused of doing to all these other people, including some of our favorites. We need to speak about it all because this idea that, oh no, they're above doing certain stuff, that's complete bullshit. And I think that, you see, this is why I said Vlad's tweet is harmful, because we're sitting here and we're relitigating this Tory thing. We're like going back into it like this Tory thing is beaten to death. Like, of course, we love Tory.
Did you lose a lot of money sports betting on DraftKings or FanDuel? You may qualify.
Us is that why the fuck is Jay-Z's name mentioned among Harvey Weinstein and Epstein? Why the hell is he hanging with? Why the hell, when it comes to Rock Nation, certain things, we're seeing some Illuminati type of stuff happen? What's the deal? Who got the secrets? Who got those files? That's the files we need. That's why I don't like talking about this. It's not that I have a problem necessarily kind of going back over this and kind of like laboriously like it, but we need to figure out if there is a story, just like how when people were initially saying, hey, there's a bigger story than just this Jeffrey guy. There's some other motherfuckers. We want to know who are these people that maybe either have protected Jay, maybe Jay protected them, maybe Jay get to leverage them, maybe Rock Nation is got to leverage them. Rock Nation has gotten out the paint. Rock Nation has gotten in position. We want to see those files. That's what we want. So a popular tactic is, let's distract you. Oh, look at the economy. Look at this. That's what they do to Jeffrey Epstein. Look at, oh, no more files. You know what they're doing with this? What about this Tory thing? This Tory thing, cool. That's one of 5,000 other things. And that's why I think our time is being wasted. But it's okay. As long as the people who are being awoken don't just kind of go back and say, oh, okay, all right, nah. All right, we already got the answers. Just keep being inquisitive. Keep asking questions. And don't only ask him with me, because I'm asking him with you. Ask him of your favorite entertainer. Hey, why the fuck we talking about Jay-Z's anniversary of Reasonable Doubt? Fuck the anniversary, nigga. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about the anniversary of him hanging with one. You know, he dropped Reasonable Doubt in 1996, and you do know this is 2006, which obviously would make it 30 years old. Congratulations to him. We'll give him some finger snaps, but let's talk about how long he been cool with Weinstein. That's what we want to know. That's what we want to know. I'm sorry to tell y'all. Okay? Yeah, they're going to distract us with all type of stuff. All type of stuff. Oh, they got this coming up. This is the thing we should be focused on. Remember before Diddy got indicted? What did Diddy do? Hey, I think you guys should focus on me. I'm going to give all the artists back their masters. Huh? Philanthropic? I think we've seen enough by now. You had Melinda and Bill Gates say they're going to donate half their fortune to philanthropic efforts. Come to find out, it's because their name is in the fucking Epstein files. Come on, man. Stop playing. We hear Diddy says he's giving back all his artists the masters after niggas threatened to throw a fridge on him over a damn off a fourth floor building. That's what the Locks did. They argued on camera. He would not give it back to them. All of a sudden, I'm down to give it back. He gets indicted. Watch out for the distraction. The Jay-Z distraction is coming soon. It's going to be the Trojan horse. It's going to be, hey, I know you've been thinking that me and Beyonce and the Carters and the Rock Nation are bad people, but look what we're doing for the culture. We're doing something good. The distraction is coming. Right now, we focused. But this is what I'm saying. Let's not focus fully on this Tory thing. Tory, we wish you love. We wish you health. We hope you come home soon. Hey, listen, you have already done the time. You've lost time off of your life. Whether you did do it or not do it, a lot of us believe that you were unfairly convicted. Whatever is the case, hold the faith, my brother. I know you have been. Come home soon. But the conversation ain't done. The conversation ain't done till we get all the files. Don't stop asking questions till you get all the files. Oh, they want to stop. Well, so how old was Foxy? No, let's not talk about that. We're about to do the Rockefeller reunion. We don't want to hear about a Rockefeller reunion right now. Nope. No reunion. No brunch, no reunion. None of that. None of that. Nope. No distractions. No distractions.
I'm not in there cup. I don't even know these Skittles, man. It's all nigga.
No Renaissance, no nothing. Stay focused. None of that.
That at cook.
Remember, I told none of that. So how old was Aaliyah? No, Aaliyah, we about to have the Aaliyah. We don't want no tribute concert. Stay focused. Stay focused. We just gonna keep asking them questions. We don't care till we blue in the face. Because we're not getting the answers. And I'm gonna be honest with you, the lack of answers makes me think there's something. Put it like this. You know, with the Epstein files, this is asking, they say, yo, here's all 6 million files. We ain't got nothing to hide. Here, take it all. Even if there was some shit, would probably be like, man, they gave it up too quick. That nigga said that shit for like 6-7 years, man. Now we know there's definitely something. What? Oh, nobody want to talk about it? Oh, there's definitely something. Nobody want to talk about Jay-Z? There's definitely something. If everyone's like, I bet, let's have the conversation right now. What's up? Once and for all, let's have it. Nobody want to do it. There's definitely something. There's definitely something. There's definitely something, man. They've done a million things for the last couple years to change the subject. I'm telling y'all now. When y'all ready, look, let me see. When was reasonable? I know y'all gonna have that day. June. It was look.
I can't. It was too long.
It was June
25th,
1996. When it comes to June, I hear. Listen, I want to suggest. Okay, this is my suggestion. Y'all gotta follow me. All of the paid shills, all of the people that's down with concealing, hiding, suppressing the conversation being had, they're going to use this as a day to celebrate, saying, here's the greatest rapper of all time. They're going to act like it's the anniversary of Jordan getting 6 rings or some dumb shit. We ain't having it. We need to basically say, this is going to be the anniversary of us figuring out what the fuck this nigga had going on. Thanks. The only reasonable doubt we want to hear about is if there would be reasonable doubt for this shit to be in court. We ain't want to hear about no album. None of that. The distractions is too much. And at this point, when you're having even people who, I get it, he's not that well informed, or I know something I think, oh no, Rock Nation must have sent him. I don't even think that. When you having people like Vlad playing our face, they're basically saying we're all stupid. Like we're the dummies. The people the most read, the most researched. We know these cases, or we know these situations back and front. They want to just say, "Oh, y'all are the idiots." Yup. We can't let them play in our faces too much longer. We can't. So June 25th, 1996. It'll be memorialized the 30-year anniversary, June 25th, 2026. I think we should make that anniversary of asking what the fuck this nigga done did for the last 30 years in relation to something. We're not just trying to blanketly accuse him. We're not saying he cheated on his math test. You know, you say he lost 92 bricks. We're not saying it. No, we're not saying that. We're just saying, we're hearing your name.
This nigga the police, man. This nigga the undercover.
We're hearing the company you got with too much fuck shit, and enough is enough. You can't keep spitting in the air, and when it falls in our face, you call it rain. Enough is enough. We need some type of answers, some type of accountability. We're not all stupid. You're pictured with these barely legal people. You ended up dating one of them. You supposedly had a crush and trying to kick it to the next one. We don't know what's going on. One of them you supposedly signed. We don't know what's going on. You're hanging out with a guy who's... We see your name in over here. We see this like your artist is... We see it too much. And I don't want to use... Because people will think that I have a motive. I don't. But we've seen less on other people, and we believe more. Well, they called him a creep in a song. He must be. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. They called him a creep. Fuck it.
Yeah, he did that with Drake. Hey, niggas stop fucking with Drake because of one punchline.
Someone in the chat. What have I missing?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. We love you too.
But niggas ain't fucking with Jay-Z. Niggas scared though. Jay-Z got that money.
Says, Act must be paid to redirect the attention from Epstein to Jay-Z.
Oh.
That person haven't been here for the longest. I've said put all of them in a bowl and investigate them one transparently. We need all their client lists. We need to see who all of them were hanging out. We need to know when are all the times that he used to hang with Weinstein? When are all the times that Epstein used to hang with Trump? Elon, fuck with you. You know, I rock with you. I would allow Tesla stock, but gang, you was trying to get on that island bad. You was trying. Nigga was curving you, man. This nigga went out here, man. He ain't coming on here, man. Get out here, man. Elon, the fuck? Like, get out of here, man. Like,
yeah, that nigga
was curving you.
Like,
you know why?
Yeah, he was curving that nigga.
The why, and here's the thing. I'm not saying everybody guilty because the why could probably help him. Maybe Elon was getting curved by Jeffrey Epstein because he wasn't a big enough perv. That's actually a good thing, right? Right? They might be like, oh, nah, he ain't a pervert like that. Nah, he not a creep. Don't bring him here. That's a good thing. If we find out that They didn't bring Elon. Remember, Elon was trying to get, like, let me know the best time to pop up at the island. They ain't never let that nigga know. We don't want you here, nigga. Maybe they were saying you ain't a predator or a big enough predator to make it to the island. That's a good thing. So through investigation, we might say, okay, at least we know he ain't a creep like them. That's all we can say. You get what I'm saying?
Fuck, nah, he ain't getting off that easy. Nah, he is too. Yeah, he is.
It's one of those.
Nah.
If you in a gang and they inviting the killers to a meeting to go on a drill to slide for one of y'all dead mans, and you say, "Could I come to the meeting because I want to go?" And they said, "Nah," they're curving you. Yeah, you're a gang member, but maybe you're just not a killer. You learned something. You're just not a killer. They know you're gonna freeze up in the car. You're throwing up after the drill. They don't want that. They don't want it. What can we take away from that? Hey, yeah, he's a gang member. Yeah, that was his niggas in them, but he just wasn't a killer.
Hold on. Before you pay for yet another app to manage your team, let me introduce you to Connect Team, the one platform that replaces...
And it's like, why are these niggas asking questions? Yo, chat, have you realized they've now turned it into the people asking questions are not only the idiots, but the weird ones? Here's the next iteration of it. Why are they so obsessed with that type of shit? Bingo. Got him. Got him. When you start saying, again, this is not even an accusation. Just say, hey, was this odd? Again, the answer might be like, all right. And you know what the funny thing is? I know some people who love Jay-Z and whatever. We've never got an answer. It's not like we've gotten answers and we're just so stubborn that we're like, let's ask it again. No. Ain't nobody saying shit.
Ain't nobody saying shit.
Because I do understand that. Like, people have said things about me, and I felt like I'm pretty transparent, so I've answered it. Here's my response. They ignore my response and say it again. Okay, all right, you're being annoying. All right, let me say it again. So I say it one more time on a bigger platform. And then the people don't like me, they're like, let's ignore that shit. Let's say it again. Those people are idiots. Okay? So, really, pardon me if some of these things we have full-on answers for and we have full-on explanations and full-on exonerations when it comes to Jay. Like, okay, hey, if I haven't seen it, if I'm overlooking something, I apologize. You know, I'm trying to operate within. I want to have some integrity here that says you're not just dogpiling on somebody. You actually do believe what you're saying. But most of this shit they don't want to talk about, period. That's the funny thing. Anyway, let me listen to Kelsey a little bit more. And
I don't want to hear none of what this whole got to say. Fast forward to this.
Oh, I had something to play. Reacted, but it was orchestrated by her own mother because her own mother didn't approve of the guy she was dealing with, and basically how she, she influenced all of the operating bodies, including the police and maybe even these medical facilities or whatever, in actually keeping her. And people usually even accuse that when they get put in a conservatorship. Obviously recently, we know what happened with what's her name, Wendy Williams. So it's a lot, right? It's a lot. And yeah, she got Baker acted. A deputy said, and it says I can't drive with you. You can take me. It says you're gonna be in handcuffs and your dog's not gonna be able to come. And they actually, it says we received a call from your family. They're saying that her mom called, saying that she tried to overdose. Okay. And,
what are we talking about? I don't even know what they're talking about.
Chief of psychiatry at this hospital who runs a private practice who said, they say, I spoke to your mom and I spoke to your aunt. So the legal fight is, she says her own mother really set all this up and she used unlawful means to have her falsely detained under this act. And it says she's a CEO of Rock Nation, which is a company that she runs with Sean Carter, which is Jay-Z. This is her own daughter saying this shit. This is not like some random. I would never met none of these people in my life. But this is her own daughter saying this. Her own daughter is saying she used money, power, and influence to tear, her apart, her and her husband. right? And he created an enterprise of individuals to effectuate her plot, essentially try to separate me from her husband to falsely accuse him of domestic violence. So they were trying to basically say, if she doesn't leave this guy, and they're saying that the dude beats her, this and third, she's not saying none of that. Said she's crazy. It said they Baker acted her. They said it was fearing she was at the risk of suicide and abusing prescription drugs. The attorney said they haven't seen nothing like this in 20 years. Okay, the attorney represented the daughter, saying that Perez had harassed the couple for years, including making unfounded claims to get the husband arrested on multiple occasions for battery and domestic violence. Prosecutors never pursued any of those charges. The state attorney wrote an 11-page scathing closeout memorandum, which basically said that her mother made false allegations to the police. So the state attorney's office basically said the mom, like after they basically tried to pursue legal action, they said, well, it's on the mom, and we're not here to do whatever. We're here to just move off the mom or move off the family members. Prosecutor also wrote that she was wrongfully Baker acted last year, something that they dispute in a letter challenging that many of the memos. Okay. So there's a whole thing, and it kind of becomes a little bit.
All right, I don't want to hit them on this. I'm about to get off the stream. So they talking about it.
Nick didn't go to this training, or he sabotaged himself this way, or whatever.
Everybody's crazy. Van Lathan.
And she was talking about Nicki Minaj's claims about a smear job that Jay-Z had against Colin Kaepernick. All right. I have to say this. I think the thing here, and I've told this story before, I think the thing here is the Jay-Z part of it. Obviously,
I don't even know who gave this nigga a voice in the first place.
That's the biggest deal. But when Nessa's talking right there, there's a part of me that feels bad about letting her be on her own with saying that.
As is the rest of the people who are in media, because it's easy to dismiss someone and call them crazy. It's the easiest thing. This person's crazy. Right? Because most of these people are speaking from their shared experience. They're speaking from, hey, I've went through this. Hey,
at least in this one, was that he was. I've told this.
Everybody's
the Jay-Z part of it. Obviously, that's the big. There's a part of me that feels, and this is the Jay-Z.
What she said though, I want to hear what she said.
Right. That felt more than the fact that he on the phones. Right. I just got this information.
What she said though.
He comes over to me and he tells me all of these things. And it was the whole Colin Kaepernick doesn't really want to play narrative. Like Colin Kaepernick didn't go to this training, or he sabotaged himself this way, or whatever. Actually, it was the same thing that people had started to hear on First Take. And it was a narrative that was getting around because either it was coming from what I thought at first is that either it was coming from players that had played with him or people that knew things. I don't know, but I had heard it before, right? And Harvey comes over to me and he says all of this stuff, and he's like, yeah, did you know that he actually doesn't really want to play? And I looked at Harvey and I said, look, I don't think that we here at TMZ should be getting in the middle of what's going on between Colin Kaepernick and Jay-Z. I think if we run what essentially was a hit piece on Colin Kaepernick.
A hit piece that he's admitting that Rock Nation called in, seemingly, to Harvey Levin to spread the propaganda because Jay-Z just got a deal and they wanted to make the sheeple okay with moving on to what Jay-Z had in store.
I don't think we have the cultural cachet to do that. Number one, to insert ourselves into the middle of that situation. And also, I think it's choosing a side in something that is literally at the core of a culture, of a black cultural discussion right now. I don't think we should do it. And he listened.
And you didn't do it.
He did not do it. He listened. He goes, okay, that makes a lot of sense. He listened. I'm like, I don't think we should do that. Like, he listened, right? He went and got back on the phone. And when he came back, there was a different story. And the story that ended up making it to TMZ was that Jay-Z somehow had the inside track on becoming an NFL owner because of his relationship with the NFL. And that ended up being the story. You guys could probably Google that story. I'm sure it's still on the site, that Jay-Z was going to become an NFL owner. And the reason why that story went up is because it was still a story that kind of explained why he had decided to take the deal with the NFL. It was a story that,
I like the World Cup in a way where, you know, these cities kind of bid for it in a way, but they are selected.
Yada, yada, yada. Steak and tomatoes. Man, a whole night. 2 people watching. Subscribe if y'all ain't already subscribed, man. Y'all catching me on Kick or Twitch.